Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Boy, is it snowing out there. You come out of your bedroom, blinds are drawn, come out of your bedroom, come out of my bedroom and living room windows, come out of my bedroom, it's white. There's no windows. I mean, there's windows, but there's nothing on the other side but white. You think, what is that? You walk toward it. And then depending on the wind shifts, because I'm, up high, it's like it's doing this and it's doing that. And sometimes I stand there and I watch the snowflakes and I'm thinking, I've had days like that. How you doing? Anyway, I just wanted to click there, do my little bit of tech homework, and then say, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for deciding that this was worth your time, because it certainly is worth mine. Cheers. Warm beverage on the throat. Oh, you know what I did this morning? I also did it yesterday. I have those packets of hot chocolate, right? I know I could probably do it the smart way, the good way, but it's simple. And I thought, I wonder what happened if I just sprinkle a little hot chocolate in my coffee. Oh boy. So I did it again this morning. Good morning, Maggie. So, Miss Maggie, to a large extent, the theme of this video this morning is about your journey. The one that I'm saying, no, walk over here. Don't walk there. Oh, God, don't walk there. Oh, geez. So the question today, the theme of today's video, and it's, by the way, it's video 428. It's 428. Whistling and waving in the distance. You can see 500, right? So can I. So my theme today is what if we won the lottery? I don't mean what if we won the lottery. I mean, what if we won the lottery? What if we bought a ticket, and when the ticket turned out to be the winning ticket, then I got to win what you got to win. We got to win the lottery. And I was thinking, the number of times that we say, I'm going to give this a try. And somebody coming along says, oh, yeah, I was going to do that too. Do you mind if I join you? And then what happens is the journey that we are on, that is still the journey that we are on, becomes a journey, not a shared journey so much, but there's somebody walking their journey alongside you. When people say, it's a shared journey, okay, we may be taking up the same similar side-by-side space, but my journey is mine and your journey is yours. And what we're really sharing is the experience of a journey. And I thought, yes, okay. However, if what my goal is on my journey is something that you do, not to have what you do, but my goal is to get to the same place you do, then when I make it, so do you. And how awesome is that? For two people to be jumping up and down and screaming and yelling and saying, oh my God, I can't make, I don't know. Okay. And before that, saying, oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't believe I said I'd do this. Because every step is a step. and there's a lot of steps. And I wanted to say this about all of it, that while we set off, we buy the ticket, we invest in the concept, and we say, I'm in it, and I'm in it to win it. That's why I put my money down. And then I'm walking around all day saying, we've already won. So that I'm in the mindset where I just need to get the go-ahead before I sign on the dotted line for this or that or the other. And good morning, Freddie. It's nice to see you. And then it struck me, because I had a very long and very important and really exciting strategy meeting with my business partner yesterday. And it struck me that it's important to do this little thing. And it's important to do it to, oh, Freddie, I'm so sorry. Oh, Freddie, honey, I'm so sorry. Huge hugs, hon. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning. Wow. Freddie's stepdad passed yesterday. Everybody, big hug for Fred. Freddie, come on, big hug. We're all with you, hon. And this is part of exactly what I was going to say. When you look at the people who win lotteries, when you look at people who make the decision, work hard, push hard, change the boundaries, because they have their eye on a dream, they have an eye on a prize. It is, there aren't words how important this is. It is essential to remember that when we make a change, it doesn't stick. It doesn't permanently anchor itself. We have to reinforce it. We exist, we survive, we thrive. Good morning, Eddie. We're here because the ancient part of our brain developed habits, developed patterns, and faithfully follows them until something significant changes, and then it must adapt. But it resists change because those small, simple habits have worked. They've kept us alive. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Is what's going on there. And when we are ready for change, and we are ready for a lot of reasons, and the emotional readiness for change, that brain doesn't know that. All it knows is if something has changed, we got to get it fixed real fast and get back to normal, because normal is what is safe. Familiar is what is safe. And so Gary and I, my partner and I, were talking about the fact that change and lasting change, an opportunity for lasting growth and adaptation and evolution, is when we understand that we need to create a pattern of behavior that allows us to reinforce a new habit, do it in small increments every day, every day, every day. And studies have shown that, give or take a New York minute, it takes 90 days for a new habit to override, replace the old. You won't get rid of an old habit if you don't have something to put in its place. Nature doesn't allow vacuums. The subconscious brain will keep us performing an outmoded, outdated, unhelpful habit if we don't have something else. And therefore, we're doing two things like juggling. And Maggie and I have been talking about this. You're very welcome, hon. You're very welcome, Freddie. We're all here for you. It's losing someone. This is part of what we're talking about. It's a habit to have someone in our lives. How do we adapt to that if it's a sudden change, even if it's a long time coming? The actual finality is a sudden change. It's abrupt. It's astonishing. And we need to give ourselves permission to register how that feels, to understand how it feels, to accept the love and support, and find comfort, find an opportunity to turn our head, to turn our attention, and find comfort and find connection and find curiosity, so that as we transition through our grief, we are already bringing something in that helps us do that, not replaces what we love. We never replace what we love. What we do is we replace the habit of actively, daily, physically loving, we bring some new element in that requires our focus in order to thrive. And that is how we heal, and that is how we grow. And so this is all part of what I'm talking about. The number of people who win the lottery and then lose the money, the number of people who land a job, the job of their dreams, and then something happens very quickly, is high. And you would say to yourself, how could that be? If the only thing you ever wanted was to win the lottery, if the only thing you ever wanted was to land the job, if the only thing you ever wanted was the perfect house, and you got it, what on earth would have to happen for you to let it go? And the crazy thing is, the answer is what you wanted was to win it. You hadn't put a plan in place to keep it. You hadn't put a plan in place to shift your life, to shift your priorities, to shift your attention in order to be the person who owns it. You dreamed of being on the receiving end of something gifting itself to you. Yes, you bought the ticket. Yes, you applied for the job. Yes, you showed up for the interview. Yes, you made the outreach. Did you have a plan for the next step? Or was a silly little part of your brain focused on, and they all lived happily ever after? Because happily ever after doesn't come with a set of instructions. Everything doesn't stop and they sail off into the sunset. What happens when they sail off into the sunset and they run aground? In the night, when the wind picked up and the tide shifted, happily ever after is all of a sudden, who's got the bailing bucket? So what we want, what we understand that we need, what we recognize as having value to us, once we have it, is only one part of three parts in the process. The first part is getting ourselves ready to receive it, to clearing away the clutter in order to be able to make the move, right, Maggie? It is shifting the way you think about yourself, thinking about the way you show up, thinking about the way you present, so that the job you leave, the job you left that didn't go well, is not how you present at the next one. The habits, the patterns that you formed at the last place, the habits, the patterns, the lazy downhill drift that began the end of the last thing, is not how you walk into the new one. We shine our shoes and we put on our best gear and we prep the best we can for the moment when we present ourselves. And then, as I so famously say to all my clients, now what? You're the dog, you chased the bus, you chased the car, and you caught it. Now what? Because no dog chasing a car ever has a plan for, look what followed me home, Mom, can I keep it? Sweetheart, no, we're Airedales and that's a Buick. It's not going to work. So how do we shift? And that's what I'm talking about today. You still haven't packed your books. Pack your books. Don't get very small boxes. Don't get a hernia lifting one big, box of books. Oh, do you have one of those shopping pull carts? Put the books in the shopping pull cart. You need more shopping pull carts? No, my point is put them in the pull cart. Take the pull cart out to the car. Don't give yourself a hernia. So what I'm saying about change What I'm saying about these shoes don't fit. What I'm saying about took the jacket out of the closet and it shrank is this. We have the intention. We have the achievement. And then we have the follow through. You can think about golf. You can think about tennis. You can think about swimming. You can think about any sport in the steps involved in a specific action. So I played tennis. I tried golf once and I handed the weapon back to my instructor and I said, goodbye. I just walked away. What do you mean goodbye? I'm driving you home. Goodbye to the you who is standing here. I'll be in the bar or the car park. I'm not staying here. Why not? I know when to retreat. I know when I've met my match. So when we step in and make the first action. So I'm thinking tennis. So swing the ball back, swing the racket back, swing through, hopefully around here, hit the ball. Follow through, because the energy of the follow through is what directs the ball. Follow through, grab the racket, get ready for the return. Whap, got it, go back. If you just went poop, that's okay, but it doesn't take you anywhere. If you want to continue, if you want a response, if you want to play a game, if you want to practice and get gooder at what you're already good at, then you need to have all the steps understood, practiced, and then put together. That's what a coach does with you. We don't think like that when we say, I can't stand this anymore, I've got to change something. We rush out and we buy a can of paint, or we rush out and we buy new cushions, or we rush out and we buy a new dress, or we change the color of our hair, simply because in this moment, I don't want this anymore. I want something completely new. The brain doesn't know what to do with that. As fast as it possibly can, it tries to correct what is clearly a mistake and reverts and reverts and reverts. And we feel like failures because we can't keep showing up. So the conversation that I was having with Gary in terms of what we do is we plot how the sharing of information, the sharing of insights, the sharing of the backstory, the sharing of the actual specific technique, and then adapting it and translating it to be a much more perfect fit for the specific client that we're coaching. And I said, people don't understand something very important. They don't understand that it takes 90 days to create a new habit. It takes 90 consecutive opportunities to ready the brain to recognize the steps as safe. And then gradually familiar. And then gradually essential. If you do it for 1 day or 3 days or 14 days or 37 days and stop and do something else instead of that, I don't mean nonstop that one thing, but if you try it differently for 1 day, the following day, you're back at day 1 because it's 90 days, 3 months. Why does it take that long? Well, how long do you think it took you for your brain to figure it out the first time? And how long do you think your brain has been repeating so that it's ingrained? How long do you think it takes to create something that feels as safe, as solid, as known, that brain that keeps us alive is prepared to replace it? Studies show, science shows 90 days. When you consider that some of the stuff we have done for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, the idea that it only takes 90 days is a miracle. Put into words why I haven't quite mastered creating a bale of... Yes, yes. It's not something you do every day, Eddie. It's the once every couple of weeks. Yes, yes. So what you can do, Eddie, is whatever the steps are in the function that create that outcome you want, you can find something similar and do that. So, the actions of bouncing a tennis ball and hitting it, following through, there's lots of other things you can do that are similar. You can pull stuff out of the dryer and use those same actions to get your brain familiar with your body doing those functions. We watch somebody do it, we mirror them, that brain is recording it. However, that brain is not recording it for keepers, it's just recording it. When you attach an emotion to what you're doing, when you say, okay, let's do this, and it's positive and you're excited, and it's not, oh gosh, I really hope, no, okay, let's do this. All right, we're doing it. And you do it, and you do it, and you do it a few times. You say, all right, what's today? All right, it's Thursday. Okay, day 1, Thursday. All right. Hey, I'll do it one more time. Bonk, foof. Yeah, okay. Put the racket and the ball down. See you tomorrow. Carry on. The more fun you have with it, the more ready and willing you are to recognize that it is a process. It is a process to create a habit. It is a process to anchor that habit. And gradually, if you are not doing the other habit at all, so you don't keep going back to the other thing, you just do this, the subconscious won't forget it, won't never remember it, but it won't be the default choice, because the default will be the one that is new and fresh and comes covered all over in really strong emotions, right? And that's right. Eddie's saying he didn't become gooder at guitar by not practicing every day. So, and the other thing is a definition of success that I want to share with you. Lots of people have definitions of success. This is the process definition of success. Success is the product, is the outcome of consistent action repeated over time. Not once. Consistent, repeated on the long term. Not every day, I got to do it. No. Same time, same day. It's like I do videos, and it has now become my Tuesday and Thursday routine, because I chose it and I committed to it. And on the very few instances when it's had to be moved because of some sudden emerging thing, I've done my best to warn people and alert. And if there was a technical glitch, apologize, so that people don't say, what happened? I don't understand what happened. What happened? My bad, or this bad, or the other bad. It's all good now. And the reason we want consistent and the reason we crave predictability is because it allows us, it gives us the room to feel safe. Subconscious brain says, we're safe. Shh. Don't wake the lion. The lion's going, what? What? Okay. Thought I heard something. Goes back to sleep. If we are ready for change, if we have played there and closed, we've done all the thing, we're good. We do not need to do the thing anymore. We could write a book on it, but we do not wish to focus on it because we've played there and closed. We're ready for change. How do we know we're ready for change? Because we're curious. And the curiosity doesn't go away. What if we win? What if we win? What do we have to do? Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. When do we get to know? All right, let's plan. Let's plan what we're going to do when we win. Right? No, even better. We've already won. What are we going to do? Let's make a list of the first 5 things. And we'll only think of those 5 things. So what I'm talking about in the core of this, in the focus of this video today, what if we together invested in our lottery win so that the win meant I win, you win, we win. In a sense, I win you as a lottery winner, you win me as a lottery winner. The two of us share a new view of the world as lottery winners. How does that work? How do we keep ourselves on track? How do we say, okay, what do we do with it? What is the goal? The first step was to win it. To win it, we had to be in it. So we got in it. Did we win it? Yes. Next step, because that's not happily ever after. The goalpost just moved. When we understand how high the percentage is of people who said, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and 6 months is average, they've lost everything. How did that happen? How did they lose everything? How could they lose everything? They had so many plans. But did they have a strategy? Did they have a process in place? Did they say step 1, step 2, step 3? Or did they say, okay, I'm going to get a car, and then I'm going to get this, and we're going to go on vacation? And were we just spending it as opposed to living it? So one of the things that Gary and I do, one of the things that is part of the coaching process that we have kind of invented, reimagined, rewired to get right to the heart of the matter, is we always have next steps. We always have next steps. And one of the immediate next steps is to take a moment, take a 5-minute pause, and refresh, analyze, evaluate, write it down, how we feel about what we just did, about what we just gave permission to happen. Why do we do that? Because we're the one driving the bus. We're the one in charge. We, in order to be able to make the strong, the good, the intentional decisions, are responsible for knowing how it's going, how it feels. Did that seem odd? Was that a weird sound? I don't know. How did we feel about when we woke up in the morning? We need to do diagnostics on a not a rabid basis, not oh my God, but on a regular basis. So one of the things, excuse me, I have to take a sip. One of the things that I create is this really helpful diagnostic. You know, like you take your car into the garage, and today, because of computers, they plug the car in and they watch the thing go boop, 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 boop. And what they're trying to do is analyze if there are any broken bits, if there's any inconsistencies. Back in the day, the mechanic took stuff apart, looked at it and said, yeah, that's worn right there. You're going to need a new one of those. Today, we're using a lot of technology to do that. When you can do a self-diagnostic based on your, you know, you sit behind the wheel, you're driving, and your hands are on the wheel, and you can feel a lot of what the car is doing through that connection to what's going on. You can feel something's a little off. You pull it in and you say, I don't know, there's something, I don't know, it's funny, it feels like in the front, or maybe it's a tire. And you go talk to somebody who's a bit of an expert, and they say, let's have a look. We don't do that with our lives. We only do it when we wake up and we say, ow, that hurts. But we don't do a friendly self-diagnostic every day. So every day, when we wake up, it's a miracle. And if we take those 5 minutes and say, well, good morning self, good morning body, good morning universe, thank you for the miracle, here we are again. How do I feel? Lie there, do a diagnostic. Does anything hurt differently or at all? No? Awesome. And then as we go about the day, between the big blocks of time that we invest in stuff, got a minute? Somebody pops their head in the door. Yes, we say. Between the big blocks of time that we invest, we need to provide time that says, put it on your now what time scheduler, got a minute. Yes, 5 in fact. And what is that for? To rest. To take a breath and let it out. To reset. To refocus. Give it a minute. Actually, it takes 20 seconds to completely refocus. Give it 20 seconds. Write down how it feels. Make a note. Okay. Next thing on the list. I don't have time for that. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because you have time to do the next thing to the absolute best of your ability. If you say you do not have time to do that, what you are saying is that you have time to do it badly. Can you imagine putting that on your resume? What is your superpower? What do you feel is your greatest strength? I take the time to do things badly. My rallying cry is meh. You know, you see these things and say, we do this. I've always thought it'd be really great to have a sign that had a coffee circle, like coffee cup stain on it at the bottom. Say, we do shoddy work. Call thing. Ask for Bob. He may not be in. Just for the sake of getting attention. People say, what the hell are you doing? Did I get your attention? Perfect. Yeah, but did you get any offers? Yes, as a matter of fact. Nobody said, is she serious? They said, I love this. Abby, what the hell? Our goal What is our goal? Do you just want to get through the day? Do you just want to do the bare minimum so they don't arrest you and take you away? Do you want to do the least possible and then avoid looking at yourself in the mirror because you can't stand the person you see standing there going, I don't know, whatever. Because the inner us is not that. The inner us is hoping and ready and waiting for awesome. That inner us, that original us, didn't come with preconceived notions. That inner us came with anticipation. And when we choose, and again, this stuff I'm talking about isn't easy. It's not just do it, just say no. It's not easy. Habit is habit is habit is habit. How do you change it? One repetition at a time. If you can't describe what you're doing as a process, you don't know what you're doing. Just say no is not a process. It's an idiot. Unhelpful. You know when I said, what if we won the lottery? We already have. You know how I know? I'm here. You're here. And we're doing this. That's a win. And what are we going to do with it? What is our next step? Are we going to book the time on our time scheduler for next Tuesday at 10, Abby, New York time? Are we going to say, it's interesting that she's talking about that there's actually a process for change. Maybe I'll reach out. No, I don't know. Reach out. What do you think is going to happen? Ask Eddie. Ask Maggie. Ask, do I have names of other people? Yes, I do. Want to ask them? Change is only difficult when we didn't think of it, when we didn't welcome it, when it was thrust upon us, like it or not, and we felt compelled to act against our best intentions or worst intentions, when we did not feel engaged in it. It's exhausting pulling a reluctant dragon around behind you. My God. It's so much more fun when the dragon is all excited. It causes a lot more astonishment too. If you know somewhere that something has lost its sparkle, something, some taste, some sensation, some anticipation that used to be awesome. And now, not so much. And now there's a kind of a going on. That isn't something you have to live with. That isn't something that has to be, I guess this is just the way it is. Is that all there is? No, it isn't. I went to an event Monday that was difficult to go to. It's very emotional. And I went with the full intention of being completely present, carrying nothing else that I had the ability to say later and mean it. I went in fully present, fully prepared to do the best I could to lean with it, allow it, what had to happen, happen. And it was still difficult. And I noticed, and a couple of people with me noticed, the difference in my energy and several other people in the room. My energy was leaning in, walking in, 100%. Let's do this. Let's honor this. And then follow what was going on and be part of it to the best of my ability. And the people whose energy wasn't there, those people were allowing those emotional waves to break on and over them. They were tolerating it. They were showing up and bracing themselves for it. I had braced myself on the way. And when I arrived, I took out my later folder. And in my later folder, I drew a line. And underneath the line, I said, let's do this. I didn't have to write what was above the line. I knew what was above the line. I just wrote the line, and underneath, let's do this. And in I went. Gary came with me. Ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Tally ho. Not tally ho, gangbusters, ride the horses in. No. Just ready. Because energy flows. And we went in like sailors on the sea, ready to shift and respond to the flow. Was it exhausting? Yes. Was I exhausted the next morning? Yes. Was I tired all day? Yes. Maggie and I had a session talking about the plans. Was I tired? Yes. Why? Because I had invested my full self, fully present, in something that came with great weight and extensive history. And I did not blow it off. I honored it the next day. Yesterday, when I woke up, totally different energy, completely realizing that something had washed over and through, and I'm still standing. And this is not something I was born with. This was not something that I was taught. This was my survival strategy, my process in becoming the person equipped to deal with in the absence of teachers, in the absence of mirrors, in the absence of opportunities to see in context how everyone does things like this. In the absence of people like us flying without a net. So I'm fairly good at it. And more importantly, and more valuable to you, is that I take the most care I can to listen to you, to get a sense of where you are, to learn how your reflexes work, and to find the change reset that serves you. It's an exercise in rewiring. And I'm so excited to begin seeing so many people who are talking about this concept of rewiring, who are seeing that consistent, simple, repetitive habit repeated over time can do something lasting and natural that a drug, a Band-Aid fix doesn't change. I love that people are saying, perhaps the healing mechanism is within us. Let's see if we can find it. I don't mean no doctors. I don't mean no recovery tools and techniques. I mean, check what you've got in your own toolbox too. Because sometimes that's the best first step, the best strategy to think about, to plan, to do. So what was this, Eddie? Circle back to the beginning. Change is difficult when we didn't think of it. Yes, that is what makes losing a loved one difficult, because it's a complete, sudden, and complete stop to a routine, to a pattern that has felt like this is life. And when that pattern, that habit, suddenly stops, it feels like life stopped. If life stopped, what am I doing still standing? And that is really complicated to process while we're grieving. Amazing. So what I want to leave you with today is not what if we won the lottery. It's we won the lottery. We won it. Here we are. What do we want to do with it? How do we want to preserve it, own it, take care of it? Not sure? Let's talk. It's going to be snowing all day today. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay home, do a whole bunch of really cool work. And then Maggie and I are going to have a follow-up talk on all the cool plans she's making. And I can't wait to find out if I'm going to hear from you. Because change doesn't have to be hard. Change can be amazing. And I can't wait to help you. So, you know the drill. Be good to you. You deserve it. Remember to hug your loved ones. They deserve it too. And for those of us who have recently lost someone, something infinitely special, we haven't lost them. They're still with us. What we have to come to figure out how to accept is the new way to keep loving them. The new way, because all the memories are there. They're all inside us. Love is inside us. So it's learning the new pattern, the new way, and we're exhausted. So we don't have to learn it and perfect it today. I've lost quite a few people. I have created a process that helps me through. Maybe it can help you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for committing to this. Thank you for showing up, no matter what it's doing outside. I will see you next time. Until then.